So in this video, going to go over SGN, one of the top gainers on the morning. It's actually kind of a dead cat bounce. It had this big run just the day before yesterday. They actually dropped an ATM offering right around here, and it held up and then sold off. So now it's moving on this news here. I'm not really going to go over it. I don't think this is too relevant. What is interesting is their financial situation and what they're going to do about raising capital. So with that offering, they can raise around $1 million. But they also had this condition, which I'll go in here. So to take a step back, they're merging with another company, and one of the conditions is to raise $2 million through a private placement or an offering. But it's interesting. They say that the $2 million actually can't come from an at the market offering. So just thinking about it that way, that and what they're going to do, they do have a history of doing, if I go back to the dilution tab here, of doing private placements. So I think what we can conclude is that they're going to raise capital. We don't know if they're going to do it through the ATM or if it's just a registered direct offering from the shelf. The other thing that's interesting is that the amount that they can raise from the shelf is determined by their float value, which is their float multiplied by the highest closing price in the last 60 days. So if you look back here, that's around 770, but you see that in just a few days, that highest closing price goes lower, which also decreases the amount they can raise. So that means that they're really going to have to use that ATM pretty much immediately, or if they're going to do an offering from the shelf, they're also going to have to do that very quickly. So basically coming to the conclusion that they're obviously going to raise one way or another. So generally stocks will fade ahead of offerings. Now this one, if we also look at the history here, it can be resilient. Even you can see from the prior day or the prior run, it can be resilient. But it's one of those stocks where once the trend is broken and the volume is weakening, you can just hold on to it, especially considering that an offering is likely to come. So that's what I'd be looking for on this one.